a scrimmage. So it'll be third down early here for the Rail Splitters. 7:57 left first quarter. Steven comes up in her center, looks along the line of scrimmage. Man in motion. They hand it off. That is Peyton Bunner. He's going to go! Touchdown, Rail Splitters. Peyton Bunner from 17 yards out takes it in for the touchdown, and the Rail Splitters lead it 6-0 here with 7:46 remaining in the first quarter. Peyton Bunner takes it in for the Rail Splitters. His first touchdown of the year, and a big one from 17 yards out on a 3rd and 3. And now Angel Harrow will attempt the extra point. It will be Ryan O'Donohue on the snap, and Isaac Decker on the placement for the Rail Splitters. We wait for the snap from OD. There it is. There's the placement. There's the kick. It's up and through the uprights, and that is an extra point. And that is a Joe Ryan Country Financial touchdown for the Rail Splitters, and they lead at 7-0 with 7:46 left in the first quarter. We'll be back in 30.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Now, and it's caught deep at the 12, up to the 15, the Mount Zion runner to the 20. At the 25, he's stacked up there, and on the tackle there for the Rail Splitters, I'm going to have to check and see who that was. Nice tackle out there for Lincoln, and I believe, and I'm pretty sure it was number 41, Jared Fultz on the tackle for the Rail Splitters. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Mount Zion at their own 25-yard line. Good coverage by the Rail Splitters there. Make it the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for Mount Zion. And now the defense is going to have to hold. Lincoln offense running like a well-oiled machine to start this game tonight. And O'Donohue stays fired up on the sideline. It's a little chilly tonight, and so players are moving around, keeping their muscles loose. And this time Mount Zion going to operate out of the gun. That's Adams, the quarterback. Got the snap. Hands off, left side. Lincoln strings him out along the sideline, still on his feet, and they finally knock him down on the far sideline. The quarterback for Mount Zion is a young man, tackled by Isaac Decker. And let's check that quarterback. There he is. Having trouble seeing up here. There's not too much lighting. His name is Makobe Adams. Makobe Adams, here's the snap. He hands off again. Running back on his feet. He's got a 1st down and more along the left side. And big trouble for the Rail Splitters. Finally ran out of bounds on the tackle there for the Rail Splitters. Looks like it was number 17, Peyton Johnson, on the tackle for the Rail Splitters. With a big 1st down for Mount Zion. Lighting not too good up here, so I think I'll try and turn the flashlight on my phone here. Here's the snap. Here's Mount Zion off the left side. Same guy. This time he's stacked up. 3 Rail Splitters there. First guy to grab him from behind for the Rail Splitters was Kobe Glenn for Lincoln. He was the first guy there, and then a couple of guys came up to help him. Okay, going to be 2nd and 10 now at the 40, and now a flag on the play. We'll have to wait and see what that is. See if I can get the flashlight on here on my phone. Yeah, I did it, even though it's all wet. That's going to help out a lot. Okay, we're up on the deck here like we're on a pleasure boat. There's no 3 receivers here to the near side. Out of the gun. Here's the snap. They hand it off again right up the middle. Good blocking and taken down from behind. That tackle was a big tackle there. We needed that one by Peyton Johnson, the senior. Makes the tackle. Another marching down the field. Going to be 1st and 10 at the Lincoln 23. Adams out of the gun. Hands off. Oh, nice job there by the Rail Splitters. Hog-tied him and flipped him to the turf there. Steady rain here tonight. Not real heavy. Lloyd Kirby did an excellent job of setting this equipment up. He put an extra table up over the top of the equipment to save the equipment. Now it's going to be 2nd and 10. Adams out of the gun, hands off, let Rail Splitters on the line, tripped him up. That was number 51, Tate Johnston on the tackle for the Rail Splitters. It'll be 3rd down now for Mount Zion. Rail Splitters need a hold here with 5:40 remaining. You're listening to Lincoln Rail Splitter football. 3rd and 7 now. Adams out of the gun in the steady rain here on the synthetic field. Adams waits for the snap. He's got it. He's going to throw his first pass. Lofts it up into the end zone, and it's going to be long. Good coverage out there by the Rail Splitters. Adams pass incomplete. Trying to pick up who was on the coverage out there. He did an excellent job of stopping that play, and that was Isaac Decker, of course. Isaac Decker plays both sides of the football. So now it's going to be 4th and 7 for Mount Zion.
4th and 7 for the Braves.
Mount Zion at home tonight. They had a tough one like we did against Metamora. Adams they're going to go for it. Oh no, pulled the Railers offside. And when you come off sides for the Rail Splitters, you're automatically out of the lineup and a new player comes in. Checking in for the Rail Splitters, that's number 70, Zach Pooley. He's a freshman, 6'4", 270. So now it's going to be 4th and 2 on the 5-yard penalty at the 20-yard line. Here on this beautiful synthetic field here. As we told you in the pregame, we're honoring the legendary Floyd B at halftime. Dave Clem will be coming up to talk. Adams out of the gun. Takes his time, trying to pull the Railers offside again. Now he's got the snap. Hands off, right side, and I think he got it. Richardson on the run, number 24. Decker on the tackle for the Rail Splitters. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 11 for Mount Zion. They switch defensively for the Rail Splitters. Now here we go. 1st and 10 to 11. 5 minutes left for the quarter. Rail Splitters lead at 7-0. Kobe Adams, the quarterback, looks to the sideline. Tried to pull the Rail Splitters offside again. On the long count. Now he's got it. Had trouble handling. Throws it out in the flats. Got his man. He goes for the end zone, and he's in for the touchdown. Let's see if his knee was down first. Pass was complete. They did not call touchdown. His knee must have been down right before the end zone. At the 1, Peyton Johnson on the tackle for the Rail Splitters. This time Adams up under center, quarterback sneak. They stood him up. I don't think he made it in. Nice stop by the Rail Splitters. No signal from the officials. At the 1-yard line. Kobe Adams, so now it'll be 2nd and goal at the 1. And Adams will come up under center again. He'll try it again. They stand him up. No! They stopped him again. He tried to sneak it in again, and that interior of that line for the Rail Splitters stopped him. So now it's going to be 3rd and goal at the 1 for Mount Zion. Adams going to come up under. Now he tries it again. I think they stood him up. No, it's a touch, so it'll attempt the extra point to try to tie this ball game up between Lincoln and Mount Zion on this beautiful Friday night for football. There's the placement, the kick, and it is through the uprights, and that's going to tie it 7-7. Lincoln Rail Splitters 7, Mount Zion 7 with 3:54 left in the first quarter. We'll be back in 30. Forget for all your construction equipment, go out to 1909 North Kickapoo Street for all your construction needs. Perry Weinbrenner and his gang out there at Chicago Street Rentals will take care of you for sure. And now Drexler going to kick it away. He kicked the extra point. And back deep for the Rail Splitters are Keon Carson and Isaac Decker. And there's the whistle. Here's Drexler from his own 40. Boots it away. Sidewinder. And Lincoln's got it. That is a good run up the middle off the right side at the 40. The 45. And again back to the 50-yard line goes Isaac Decker. Got some nice blocking up the gut right there. And he just took it right down Main Street. Owens on the tackle. Isaac Decker wears the number 13. He got into Mount Zion territory at the 49-yard line. Isaac Decker, two great run backs tonight. One back to the 50, this one back into Mount Zion territory at the 49-yard line. O'Donohue up over the football for the Rail Splitters. Stevens comes up in her center, looks along the line of scrimmage. Darren Stevens got this dropped and it's on the deck. Fumble on the play. They keep the clock running. And see who got back on it. That was Stevens got back on the football. So now it's going to be, lost a yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 11 for the Rail Center. Got the snap from O'Donohue. Keon Carson tries to make the turn, and he gets back maybe to the original line of scrimmage. Nothing there. They held the line there, Mount Zion. Stayed in their lanes and didn't let Keon get away. He's 6'3". Fine young athlete, junior. Comes up underneath center, looks along the line of scrimmage again, keeps his composure at all times. He's got the snap, and he's going to turn, roll out to his right, wants to throw. He's going to stay on his feet, and he gets up across the 45-yard line. All the receivers for Lincoln were well covered, so Darren, that's one of his longest runs of the year, and he took it inside the 45 to the 44-yard line, where it's going to be 4th down for the Rail Splitters. Let's see if they're going to boot it away. It looks like they are. Mount Zion to receive the kickoff. Isaac Decker will make the snap with the wet football. Here it is. Nice snap. Ledley, nice high hang time on that. It's going to take a Lincoln Rail Splitter bounce, and it's caught right there. That is, I believe, Peyton Bunner who downed it, and the football going to be at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10 for Mount Zion. Mount Zion, a nice facility here except for the press box. When you come over here to broadcast, you are out in the elements. We had 4 beautiful games, but at least the rain has stopped. I shouldn't cry. I worked for the water company all my life and worked out in the elements, so big deal. That was the Chicago Street Rentals. And here we go, kickoff, punt. Here's Adams, out of the gun. No running backs with him. He wants to throw. He throws it long and deep, and good coverage by the Rail Splitters. Nothing there on the coverage out there for Lincoln. Trying to pick up who that number is. I think it's number 8. It is. That's Colby Glenn was on the coverage for the Lincoln Rail Splitters. Would have been nice to pick that one off. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 now for Mount Zion at their own 15-yard line with 1:42 left in the first quarter. Ball game tied up 7-7. Peyton Bunner took the touchdown, lost to me from here. 1:32 on the clock, keeps running. They spot the ball at the 13-yard line. So now it's going to be 3rd and 12 for Mount Zion. 1:22. Tie ball game, 7-7. Here on the night of September 23rd, underneath the Friday night lights. Adams going to operate out of the gun. He's got 3 receivers here to the near side, 2 receivers on the far side of the field. Guess what he's going to do? He's going to look to pass. He's got plenty of time. He airs it out long, and he's got a guy wide open, and he catches it. That's a big first down for Mount Zion. The tackle was made by Isaac Decker all the way down to the Lincoln 40-yard line. A great pass there by Adams down to the 40. And so now they're in Lincoln Rail Splitter territory. 1st and 10 for the Mount Zion Braves. In the white helmets and the red jerseys, they quickly line up. Adams Two receivers here near side. Now he's got the snap, hands it off, right side, got plenty of running room up the middle, stays on his feet, and he's going to go to the pylon, and it is a touchdown. And Mount Zion takes the lead now with 37 seconds left in the first quarter. With the lead, 13-7, with 37 seconds left in the first quarter. Drexler will attempt the end of Mount Zion Braves. Nice drive over here. You catch a little bit of three-lane highway coming over here after you get off of 121. Here's the snap, the placement, the kick, and it is through the uprights. So now Mount Zion leads Lincoln by a touchdown, 14-7. We'll be back in 30.
Holland Berry & Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Holland Berry & Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loving professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most...
Reynolds going to be sponsoring the kickoff. Back for the Rail Splitters, Keon Carson and Isaac Decker for the Rail Splitters. Kenai Carson up close also along with Gabe Smith in cases a pooch kick by the kicker. The kicker is Drexler. He's kicked the 2 extra points. The Braves lead the Rail Splitters now 14-7. Again, want to remind you, all the kickoffs sponsored by Chicago Street Rentals, about 1909 North Kickapoo Street. Drexler going to set it up now. And as I said, Isaac Decker and Keon Carson back for the Rail Splitters. Keon wears the number 24. Isaac wears the number 13. Drexler takes his time, waits for the whistle from the official. Kicks it soccer style. There's the whistle. And he'll approach the ball at the 40-yard line to boot it away. Drexler on the kick, and this time it's going to be Keon Carson on the bounce at the 12. To the 15, looks for running room. He's going to come to this side, to the 20, the 25. Stays on Isaac Decker. Pardon me, that was Isaac Decker with the football. Isaac Decker this time runs it out to the 33-yard line. So it'll be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby. The Rail Splitters at the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. 29 seconds left in the first quarter. Lincoln on their own 33-yard line. As I told you, they're in their all-white uniforms with the green numerals. Kobe Glenn going to come to the sideline. And split out to the far right side is Kenai Carson. In the backfield is Peyton Bunner. Bunner off to the left side, and this time Stevens going to operate out of the gun, and the rain starting come. Now Bunner's going to run with it up the middle. May have got a yard out of it, up to the 34-yard line. The Mount Zion line held there, so it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Rail Splitters. Late first quarter, 18 seconds remaining in the first. Ball spotted just short of the 34-yard line. Stevens looks to the sideline, and they're not going to get another play off. 5 seconds remains in the first quarter, and at the end of the first quarter, the score is going to be Mount Zion Braves 14, Lincoln Rail Splitters 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Braves 14, Rail Splitters 7.
Hey, you can come up if you want.
Running errands, shuttling kids to practices, and still have to stop by the store. Sound familiar? At Town & Country Bank, we love seeing our customers, but we know that can't always happen. That's why we make managing your money easy with our mobile app. You can deposit checks, transfer funds, or make payments through your smartphone or tablet. Plus, we offer text banking and an interactive online budget tool to keep you on track. Visit townandcountrybank.com to learn more. Town & Country Bank, side by side. See.
Rain coming down a little bit harder right now. I can't remember us trying any passes yet. It's been all of a run game. Stevens going to come up under center. Brian O'Donohue. Far side hash mark. Man in motions. Kenai Carson fake the pitch. And the handoff off the right side. I can't pick up who that was. Isaac Decker. Decker to the 34-yard line. Got a yard out of it. So it'll be third, again, a couple yards. It'll be 3rd and 8. 3rd and 9 at the 34. The umbrellas are out here. I'm going with the double jacket and the Under Armour to stay warm. Or my old work pants because they dry out quickly. Thanks to Illinois American Water. Kenai Carson split here to the near side. To the far side, it's Kobe Glenn. Out of the gun, it's Darren Stevens. Peyton Bunner in there at the running back along with Kenai Carson. Here's the snap to Stevens. He wants to throw along the sideline. He's got Keon Carson. Keon Carson just runs right into a guy like sweetness and knocks him down. And that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down for the Rail Splitters, and that's the way we like it, baby. Keon Carson just ran right over a guy to get the first down at the Lincoln 46-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 as we start this second quarter. Mount Zion leads Lincoln 14-7. Kobe Glenn split wide. Keon Carson's got the handoff to the wide side of the field. Looks for running room along the sideline. There's nothing there. He has to run out of bounds. That'll stop the clock, but he did pick up some yardage. Looked like he went out at about the 49-yard line. 3-yard pickup there by Keon Carson. Excuse me. Now they spotted at the 48. So it's going to be second down for the Rail Splitters and 8 at the 48. The far side hash mark. This time Stevens will come up under center. He's got the snap. Man in motion is Isaac Decker. Off the right side, and they grab his shirt, but he stays on his feet. He may have got a yard out of it. One of the players for Mount Zion got a handful of jersey and wouldn't let him go anywhere. So they got a yard out of it. So that's going to make it like about 3rd and 7 at the 49 for Lincoln. 10:37 left for the second quarter and a half. And Lincoln trails it by a touchdown, 14-7. Big Evan Wackendorf in there on that offensive line for the Rail Splitters, along with Joe Dom. Sanders is in there for Lincoln. Nico Sundin. And here comes Kobe Glenn to the near side. Stevens this time, still talking to his running back. He's talking to Keon Carson. Now he comes up under center. And the play is blown dead. I think they ran out of time. Ran out of the play clock. Delay a game against the Rail Splitters. So that's going to back it up. It was going to be 3rd and 7 at the 49. And that's going to be a 5-yard penalty back to the 44-yard line. So that ought to be 3rd and a dozen for the Rail Splitters with 10:05 left here in the second quarter. You're listening to 96.3 FM out of Atlanta, Lincoln. And you're listening to WLCNonline.com also. Split wide to the far side is Kobe Glenn. Here to the near side is Kenai Carson. Stevens out of the gun. Darren Stevens got the snap. Looks, got a little time, going to air it out long. Kenai Carson, he's touchdown! Kenai Carson on the touchdown for Lincoln. That's his first touchdown. Darren Stevens hit him on the dead run. What a nice catch by Kenai Carson. The rain's coming down. The ball's very slick to make the score 14-13, and that's a Joe Ryan Country Financial touchdown for the Rail Splitters. That's going to be Ryan O'Donoghue. Isaac Decker, Angel Harrow, will attempt the extra. Kick it away from his own 40. Waits for the whistle. He just has a short approach, but he puts a good leg into it. There it is. Sidewinder off each side, and it's going to go out of bounds. So it'll probably be 1st and 10 at the points of the game, the list of the game. Lincoln's got to play tough defense. They have to hold because the offense can score tonight. On a rainy night with no wind, near side hash mark. Mount Zion lines it up out of the gun. That's Adams out of the gun. Waits for the snap. He's got it. And he's going to keep it. Rolls out to his right. Nice short little pass. And along the sideline, across the 50, and finally tripped up and taken out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Jacob Harvey on the run. 1st and 10 for Mount Zion. Into Lincoln territory. And they're going to put the football down at the 41-yard line of Lincoln. 1st and 10, Lincoln 14, Mount Zion 14. An exciting football game tonight. Pretty good crowd out here. Good following for the Rail Splitters. Adams going to operate out of the gun here. Where's the number 3? He's got the snap, hands off to his running back, stays on his feet, right side, and he's up close. Petty on the run to the 35-yard line. Colby Glenn on the tackle for the Rail Splitters. Peyton Bunner checking in on defense for Lincoln. Ball at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10 for Mount Zion. Adams out of the gun. Rail Splitters need to make a stop. It needs to start here. Adams waits for the snap, tried to pull us off sides, and that's going to be a penalty against Mount Zion. Kenai Carson is clapping. I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe he saw somebody pull off sides, and that is going to be a 5-yard walk-off back to the 41-yard line. Break for the Rail Splitters there, so that's going to make it 2nd and 10 now for Mount Zion. Adams out of the gun. He has one lone running back off to his left, gets the snap. Here comes the pressure, but he still gets it off long. Good coverage, Angel Harrow. And there's a flag on the play. Incomplete pass. Angel was all over him out there. Let's see what the call is. Officials are coming back to talk it over. Talking to the head official. It's going to be pass interference either way. One way or another. We saw it against the opposing team earlier this year. Sounds like the call is pass interference. And in high school, what does that mean? Does that mean they're just going to put it down at the... It's going to be a first down at the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 now at the 26. Here's the snap to Adams. Hands off right side. Good run there. Got 5 and more for Mount Zion. He's down to the Peyton Bunner, and they get him up now. I'm going to walk him off. He's all right. He just, you get blindsided to get hit, get rattled, but it takes you a while to get yourself back together. Looks like there may be a timeout on the field, but I'm not going to go back to the station. I'm going to king back out into their defensive positions. Mount Zion talking it over on the sideline. It probably was a timeout, but I'll keep it right here. Now checking in for the Rail Splitters. That is number 55, Nico Sundin, the senior. 5'7", 195-pounder. Nico Sundin checks in on defense for Lincoln. And it's going to be 2nd and a nickel for Mount Zion out of the gun at the Lincoln 21. Here's the snap. The running back. Oh, nice job by the Rail Splitters. Stacking him up. Evan Wackendorf was one of the guys there. I couldn't pick them all up. They just sandwiched him. Tate Johnston was the main man on the tackle for Lincoln, knocked him back to the 22-yard line. So now it'll be 3rd and 6 for Mount Zion. A big hit there for Tate Johnson and the Rail Splitters. Adams looks to the sideline. He's got one lone running back with him. He's going to have one receiver, another one over here in the slot on the near side. 3rd and 6. Big play for the Rail Splitters here to make the stop. Adams has got the snap. Here comes the pressure. He gets it away over the middle, and it is caught in the end zone for the touchdown for Mount Zion with 8:04 left in the half. And that'll make the score. Mount Zion 20, Lincoln 14. Adams placed that football perfectly. Threw a shot across the bow there, and the Mount Zion player went up high to make the catch. Nice athletic move for the touchdown. 20-14, and now Trexler will attempt the extra point with 8:04 remaining here in the half. Exciting Friday night football. Mount Zion leads the Rail Splitters 20-14. Soccer-style kicker Trexler waits for the snap and the placement. Here it is. Here's the kick, and it's up and through the uprights, and Mount Zion leads the Rail Splitters 21-14. We'll be back in 30.
Braves 21, Rail Splitters.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Sir, he's out on assignment in St. Charles, Missouri. He won't be with us tonight or next week. I won't be with you next week. I'll be at my niece Anna's wedding in Crown Point, Indiana. But tonight, you've got exciting Lincoln Rail Splitter football. This is Chicago Street Rentals kickoff here. Trexler going to kick it off. There's the whistle, and here's the approach. He kicks it away. This time the football coming to Isaac Decker. Decker with the football at the 20. He's hit, breaks a tackle, then he stays on his feet, and he's finally taken down short of the 30, up around the 28-yard line, and that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down for the Rail Splitters, and that's the way we like it. You can always depend on Isaac Decker to bring that football out for the Rail Splitters. 7:56 left for the half. The Braves lead the Rail Splitters 21-14. And there's a holding call, they say, against the Rail Splitters, I believe. So they'll step that off, and Mount Zion, or Lincoln, is going to lose 5 yards. And they're going to spot the ball at the 19-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Lincoln at the 19. O'Donohue up over the football, flanked by the lineman. Stevens this time comes under center. Got a man in motion. He picks it up. He's got pressure on him, throws it off, and I think that was sort of a bad snap, and he picked it up. It was a busted play, and he tried to get it to Isaac Decker. Just no marbles there. A lot of pressure on Darren there, and he couldn't get it away, so now it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Rail Splitters at the 19-yard line. You're listening to 96.3 FM out of Atlanta and Lincoln. Joe Lee back at the station turning their dials. Lloyd Kirby here filming it for you, archiving the football game, and Darren Stevens checks back into the huddle now with the play on a 2nd and 10 for the Rail Splitters at their own 19-yard line. Mount Zion leads by a touchdown, 21-14. This time, Stevens going to come up under center. He's got one lone running back, and he hands it off the left side. That is Isaac Decker, I believe. Decker on the carry for the Rail Splitters. He picked up some yardage there, so now it's going to be a 3rd down. Brought down by Justin Moreau for the Mount Zion Braves. And they spot the football at the 24-yard line. So that's a 5-yard pickup for Isaac Decker. 3rd and 5 for the Rail Splitters. They've got to get the first down here, or they're going to have to punt it away. O'Donohue breaks the huddle. Kenai Carson out here to the near side. Stevens looks over at him. Now he's going to hand it off in the backfield, and nothing there. That's Isaac Decker. They blow the play dead now. Decker is one tough kid. He's got 2 guys trying to wrestle him down, and he doesn't go down. They blow it dead, and he walks away. But unfortunately, that's going to be 4th down, and Jaden Ledley's going to have to kick it away. Isaac Decker will snap it back to him on the long snap. 6:50. Clock keeps running here for the first half. Mount Zion leads it by a touchdown, 21-14. You can always depend on Jaden Ledley on the punt for the Rail Splitters. Decker coming back in, straightening out his equipment. Now he's ready to go. He'll snap it to Jaden Ledley. Nice snap, gets it away. Long end-over-end kick. And it's going to take a Lincoln bounce across the 40, 35, and they're going to stop it at the 34. That's Keon Carson downing it, that's the 34-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Mount Zion at the 34. And as we talk about the keys of the game, early in the game, the Me Realty keys, the list of the game, the defense has to make a stop tonight. And this is where they got to do it. They can't give Mount Zion a 2-touchdown lead. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line for Mount Zion. 69 out there, of course, is Frank Sanders. He's a junior, 6'2", 195. He's played excellent defense this year. He's one of the defensive ends for Lincoln. Also up there on the front line for Lincoln is Peyton Johnson. Number 51 for Lincoln is Tate Johnston on the defense for Lincoln. 55 is Nico Sundin. He's a senior up on that front line. Also checking in on defense, number 33, Owen Grant. Jaden Ledley out there talking to the official. I don't know what happened. In discussion with one of the captains for Lincoln. That's going to be a penalty against Mount Zion, and they're going to step it off at the 34. I don't know exactly what the penalty was. Now I see the official picking up the flag. It was on the far side of the field. Little extracurricular activity on the far side of the field. So now the football, it's a good break for the Rail Splitters back at the 24-yard line. And that was a Chicago Street Rentals kickoff for all your construction equipment at Chicago Street Rentals out at 1909 North Kickapoo Street. Perry Weinbrenner and his fine crew out there. Adam's going to operate out of the shotgun now. 1st and 10 at the 24. Rail Splitters need the hold on this offensive run by Mount Zion. Quickly throw it out. Screen pass on the right side. And a good job out there. That is Kenai Carson on a nice tackle for the Rail Splitters. Kenai Carson read that one all the way and made the tackle out there. Beautiful job by Kenai Carson. He's got a big touchdown tonight, and he made a big tackle there. 2nd down now for Mount Zion. Let's see if they stop. They did stop him at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 24. Adams out of the gun. He's got one running back to his right side, 3 receivers here on the far side. Good pressure by Lincoln. Has to get rid of it. Nice catch. Breaks the tackle. Now he spins out of another tackle off the sideline and finally pushed out of bounds by Kobe Glenn. Unfortunately, the Rail Splitters could not make the tackle on that play. Good pressure by the Rail Splitters on the quarterback. He threw a short pass up the middle, and that's going to be a 1st and 10 for Mount Zion. Ball going to be spotted at the 39-yard line of Mount Zion. They bring 1, 2, 3 receivers again here to the near side. Adams out of the gun. He's got the lone running back. It's Cancer Awareness Night. They got the pink on. Here's the handoff, and stays on his feet. Broke the tackle to the right side. Still dances on his feet. Finally spun out of bounds. Good job by the Mount Zion running back. Tackle Owen Grant was in on it. That's Tate Johnston and Owen Grant over on the tackle, but not before Mount Zion got a big gain there. Deep into Lincoln territory. It'll be 1st and 10. And they keep the clock running. 5:22 left for the half. Mount Zion leads Lincoln 21-14. Football going to be spotted at the 40-yard line. Mount Zion quickly now lines up on the 1st and 10. 5:08. Adams out of the gun. Got a man in motion. Hands it off to his running back. Off the right side. He's got a big hole there. And he's taken down. Jason Richardson, the running back. Nice tackle made by Isaac Decker for the Rail Splitters. Ball spotted at the 30, just across the 37th, call it the 36-yard line. Going to be 2nd down now for Mount Zion. 4:40 left for the half. 2nd and 6. Adams out of the gun, has a lone running back with him. 3 receivers here to the near side, one on the far side of the field. He waits for the snap. Now a man goes in motion for Mount Zion. There's the snap. Hands it off to the original running back, and he's tackled. Richardson on the carry, and that was Jaden Ledley on the tackle for the Rail Splitters. Ball now spotted at the 34-yard line. So now it's going to be, I believe, 4th down. 4:06 left. 3rd and 4. Adams out of the gun. 3:57 left for the half. They try to pull us offside. Rail Splitters hold their ground. Letting the play clock run down. Now he's got the snap. Hands off to his running back. Good job there. Tripped him up. First guy in there for Lincoln. 2 for the Rail Splitters for Mount Zion at the Mount Zion 47-yard line. Good job, Lloyd. Lloyd keeping us alive out here in the steady downpour. Darren Stevens comes up under center. He's got the snap. Keon Carson in motion. Hands it on the second guy through. Off the right side. We've got a first down and more, and guess who? Isaac Decker. He is a wild man on the football, and that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby, at the Mount Zion 37-yard line. Thank you, Lloyd Kirby. Got us back in the football game. We just lost a couple first downs there. Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first downs. But we're back at it as O'Donohue comes up over the football. 1st and 10 for the Rail Splitters at Mount Zion's 37-yard line. Stevens going to operate out of the shotgun. Where's the number 12? Man in motion. Fakes the handoff. Now he rolls out to his left. Spins. Fires along the sideline. Complete along the sideline. That's, I believe, Keon Carson on the far side of the field. Stevens threw a bullet to him through the rain. I'm not sure if that's Keon or not. Yeah, that was Keon Carson. Made the catch, and that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby. At the 20-yard line, Stevens comes up under center. Waits for his wide receiver, and now play is blown dead. Timeout, Mount Zion. Mount Zion takes a timeout with 1:40 left in the half. The Braves lead the Rail Splitters 21-14. We'll be back in 30.
Holland Berry & Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Holland Berry & Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loved ones comfortable facilities and caring professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult challenges anyone can face, and it's important to have a funeral home you can trust to provide peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com.
Have you ever seen somebody treated unfairly because of the color of their skin?
Do you guys know what it means to have white privilege?
What is racism and what do you think about it?
Talk to young children about what racism is, giving them the language to understand it. They can be disruptors. They can shape and shift culture.
We may not always know the answer, but we'll try and help you learn.
You don't have to have all the answers, but that doesn't mean we can't start.
5, 4.
Stevens
3,
up under center, waits
2.
for the snap. He's got it. Hands off. That's Peyton Bunner, and he's stacked up on the left side. And they tried to go with Peyton Bunner there, but nothing going. Good defense there for Mount Zion, and a loss for the Rail Splitters. Will be second down with a running clock here with 1:25 left in the first quarter. Stevens keeps his hands in his pockets, keeping him dry. Got the play from Coach Stevens. Now he backpedals out onto the field. Goes into the huddle. O'Donohue comes up over the football. Peyton Bunner got back. No, he lost 2. 2nd and 12 for the Rail Splitters. Here's Keon Carson. Has a little trouble handling the football, but I think he got back to the 20. Brock on the tackle. We're under a minute now. 3rd down now for the Rail Splitters. Ball's at the 20-yard line. So that's going to be 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10, and now another timeout. This one's to Lincoln with 44 seconds left on the clock for the half. Lincoln trails by a touchdown, 21-14. We'll be back in 30. Rail splitters out of that timeout. This time Stevens rolls to his right. He looks. He's got time. He's going to run with it along the sideline. Spins, fights, and he's down close to a first down. Depends on the spot. Going to be a yard short. Stevens picked up 9 yards on the run there, so it's going to be 4th and 36 inches for the Rail Splitters. With 34 seconds, 32, the clock's running. Going to have to hurry up and snap it. Stevens waits. He waits. He's got the snap. Hands off, and they blow it dead. They hand it off to Isaac Decker. And Mount Zion called a timeout. They called a timeout. So with 24 seconds remaining here in the first half, Mount Zion called a timeout before we got the snap away. It's 4th and 1 for the Rail Splitters. We'll keep it right here. Mount Zion 21, Lincoln Rail Splitters 14, and the rain continues to come down here in Deluge. Good thing I wore 2 coats. I want to thank all our fine sponsors for bringing us tonight's ball game and for all the brave fans that came out. A lot of Lincoln Rail Splitter fans here tonight. I'm surprised there are not more Mount Zion fans. Okay, here comes Mount Zion out of that timeout. They go to their defensive positions. 24.6 seconds left for the half. Lincoln needs a yard for the first down at the 11-yard line. 4th and 1. Stevens looks along the line of scrimmage. He'll come up under center behind O'Donohue. Man in motion. Handoff right side. Stays on his feet. Bucks fights. Unbelievable. Isaac Decker's fighting for the end zone. He got a first down. He was stopped before the line of scrimmage, and he would not give up. They're going to say he made it to the 5-yard line. That's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance 1st and goal. Here's Stevens. This time he hands off to Decker, and this time he's stopped in the backfield. And it looks like Lincoln is going to timeout. They call a timeout with 6 seconds left. Unbelievable. Under all kinds of pressure, we got the Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby, at the 5. But then they quickly handed it off to Isaac Decker, and he was taken down around the 8-yard line, a 3-yard loss. So we're going to get at least one more play off here. I think we probably should go airborne here. If we can get somebody in a jump ball situation in the end zone. 6.7 seconds left for the half. Lincoln trails by a touchdown. They need this touchdown here going to half because Mount Zion will get the football to start the second half on the Chicago Street Rentals kickoff. Frank Sanders, Jaden Ledley out there listening to Coach as they get ready for the big play here. Rail Splitter line's got a hold. O'Donohue breaks the huddle. He heads out. Kobe Glenn here to the near side. Frank Sanders up on that offensive line along with Joe Dom. Evan Walkendorf out of the shotgun this time. Bunner's the running back. And here goes the play. Stevens has got the snap. He wants to throw. Looks, lofts it in the end zone. Incomplete. Incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 2 seconds. So we'll get one more shot. That was second. That'll be 3rd and 8 now for the Rail Splitters. Smart play there by Stevens. Nobody was open, so he just lofted it along the sideline to incomplete it. And we'll run it again. Fans are going crazy here. We're going to attempt the field goal. Angel Harrow going to attempt the field goal. It'll be O'Donohue on the snap and Decker on the placement. First field goal of the season. Here's the snap, the placement, the kick, and it is no good. Off to the right side, and that's going to end the half with the score. Mount Zion Braves 21 and the Lincoln Rail Splitters 14. Make sure you come back. Exciting football.
WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com present Lincoln Community High School Rail Splitter Football. WLCN's live stream video coverage of Railer football is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Chestnut Health Systems, offering a comprehensive scope of behavioral health and human services in Illinois and Missouri. Phone 888-924-3786. Me Realty, locally owned and operated. Me Realty is Logan County's top producing real estate agency year after year. Call 217-735-5424 or browse listings online at merealty.com. Farm and Home Supply. Shop Farm and Home Supply for all your farm, home, and outdoor needs. Stop by at 1501 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Triplet Heating and Cooling, servicing all brands of residential and commercial HVAC systems in the Lincoln and Logan County area. Call 217-651-8683, Triplet Heating and Cooling, an authorized Bryant dealer. Hollenberry and Bennett Funeral Home, providing peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Family owned and operated by Chris and Leslie Bennett. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com. Town & Country Bank, a proud sponsor of Lincoln Railer football, Town & Country Bank helps empower the financial well-being of communities, one person at a time. Online at townandcountrybank.com. Thank you for watching WLCN's coverage of Lincoln Rail Splitter football.
Exciting Lincoln Rail Splitter football on a rainy, crazy night. At halftime, the Mount Zion Braves lead the Lincoln Rail Splitters 21-14. And as we told you at halftime, we're going to honor Coach Floyd B. Coach Floyd B., born back in 1939, just passed away here recently at the age of 82. He graduated from Springfield Lanphier High School in 1958. I believe he was the only wrestler there. Then he went on to wrestle at Eastern Illinois, went to the Nationals twice, and then after he graduated, of course, got married and had some kids, and he had to go to work. So his first job was at Rock Island High School, then he was at Gurney, Warren, and then he was at Southeast, and then he ended up at Lincoln for 30 years of winning wrestling. He won all 30 years, and of course with us tonight is Coach Dave Clem. And Dave Clem was one of the better wrestlers, and that's an understatement, for the Lincoln Rail Splitters. And of course Dave can name off a lot of those other Rail Splitters. And Dave, thanks for coming up. I know you're the head wrestling coach here at at Mount Zion, pardon me, and you're also one of the assistant coaches on the football game, and a great football game tonight, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. We knew that Lincoln had some players, and we got to try to stop them, and it's been pretty good so far. It's kind of sloppy conditions, but it's been an exciting game.
So let's talk about your freshman year, and you come in, I don't know if they had wrestling. Did they have wrestling in junior high back when you were around?
They did not.
So you come in and you meet Floyd B. your first day at practice. What's it like?
Well, I met him my first day at football practice because he was my freshman football coach.
I see. Yeah. Well, you didn't stay as a freshman player long, I don't think.
Well, actually, my freshman year, the Lincoln teams were pretty good then, too.
That's true.
And but he came up to me at practice one day, and of course, he's a short little guy, and he came up to me and looked me right in the eye and pointed his finger at me and says, "You're going to wrestle, young man." And back in the day, Coach told you to do something, you did it. So from there on, it was all he was in charge.
And that's what it's all about, is respect to your teachers and your coaches. And quite a story. You started out your freshman year, and what weight did you wrestle at?
I was at heavyweight. I was heavyweight all my career. My freshman year, I was probably about 240, 250.
So we're talking the 1972-73 season.
That's correct.
Okay. So then you wrestle for Coach B. Did he have any special technique? Is there any moves that you teach your wrestlers now that may have been a special takedown move that he liked?
Not so much special technique, but one thing he taught me was discipline and hard work, which is, obviously everybody wants that, but he was really good at it. And yeah, I had the opportunity as a freshman. I started as a freshman because I was behind Harley Mullins, but Harley broke his leg in football.
Okay.
So he didn't get to wrestle. So I wrestled as a starter as a freshman, and I went 0-15 and got pinned 10 times.
You got pinned 10 times. What a way to start your career. Yeah. You're only a freshman, and you're wrestling experienced juniors and seniors.
That's correct. And I took my lumps and my bumps and bruises, but at the end of the day, it all paid off for me.
That's good. As in your senior year rolls on, I know it's legendary. They brought back guys to wrestle with. Nobody could practice with you, so they had to bring back some of the old tough guys to spar with you.
Right. I had a couple classmates that came in and worked out with me, but they also brought in Bucky Washam, and he was a ton. He was good for me to work out with. He did me a lot of good.
Yeah. So Coach B, we respect the program that he had. He had winning programs for 30 years. So what can you remember his first year? He was there for 30 years. Was his last year, would that have been like 05?
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay, so but when you got there, he may have been it was early on.
Right.
That he was coaching.
Yep. And I had the fortune of being under his tutelage. I mean, I had a lot of respect for that guy. He made you do the things the right way.
And that's what it's all about. So name some of your other teammates, guys that we would know before and after and during your career at Lincoln.
From freshman to senior, a lot of the standout guys. Bob Check was really, really good. And both Larsons, Jim and Steve Larson, Donald Rivetter. We just had a lot. Dan Fulcher, Eric Spanton was more my age. We had a lot of really good wrestlers back in the day.
Yeah, I know all those names. Great wrestlers. Both his sons wrestled, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, Greg and Jeff.
And then the Berger brothers.
Yeah, Matt and Jim Berger. Yep.
Yeah. Great tradition. Back when I was high school, it was Coach Horocek. He had some good wrestlers back in the day. But Floyd B was the standard for 30 years. In fact, the wrestling room is named after Coach Floyd B.
That's correct. And I don't mind telling anybody that everything that I am today started with him.
Wow, that's awesome.
He just instilled in me, and anytime I would go home and talk to my parents, I said, he made me do this to me. He goes, well, he's the coach. Listen to him.
Yeah.
And I did, and he set me on the right track, and it was just all forward from there.
And a kind of a funny sidelight, probably one of the keys to your career was eating at the Schonauer house, the Derber house, and your house. So Chuck Derber, Dave Schonauer, and Dave Clem, if you know them, they're pretty good-sized guys. So when they're growing up, they need a lot of food. So they wouldn't tell their mothers that they were eating at the Clems, the Derbers, and the Schonauers. So how did they finally find out? The mothers talking to each other?
Well, eventually they found out, but we still made the rounds, and we'd hit all three in one day.
That's unbelievable. 2-3 great cooks. What was your mother's first name?
Marjorie.
Marjorie Clem.
Marge Clem, yeah.
Okay, Betty Derber and
Marianne Schonauer.
Marianne Schonauer. Wow.
Man, well, those were the days, weren't they?
Those were the days, yeah. Well, because there was no cameras.
That's for sure. Can't prove a thing.
So, what's your team look like this year over at Mount Zion, Coach?
Well, I got 4 seniors coming back, or 5 seniors coming back. One of them's a state qualifier for me. I'm looking forward to that. I had 8 sectional qualifiers last year, and I think 6 of them are coming back. So that's good. And I have a large group. I got about 15 freshmen coming in. I could have as many as 35 kids on my team this year. I'm really excited, at least to start with, because when you talk about the strength of a team, it starts with numbers.
Yes, yeah. You've been around the block. Tell us about where you wrestled in college and how that went in your tryouts for the Olympics.
Well, I wrestled at Eastern Illinois, and right out of the gate, I can remember the day when I told Coach B I was going to go to Eastern, and he didn't want me to go there.
He didn't?
He didn't. He wanted me to go to SIU Edwardsville. He felt it was a better fit for me, but I just liked the atmosphere of the coach and everything at Eastern, and I fell in love with it right from the get-go. And some of my best friends even today are my teammates from Eastern that I talk to all the time. We had a great team at Eastern. My coach put together a great program, and we were undefeated in dual meets my whole 4 years at Eastern Illinois.
Wow, that's a heck of a program.
We had a great program, and it just went from there. I placed in the Nationals several times, and then I was in the World Championships my junior summer, which is '79, and then in '80 was the chance for the Olympics, but then they boycotted.
Oh, in '80, yeah.
In 1980, so I didn't really get an opportunity there. So after that, I just went to coaching.
So tell us about that coaching.
They treat me very